You are listening to Practical and Woo by Mindset and Manifest. My name is Eden, and I invite you to embark on a journey with me to explore the practical and spiritual edges of the unknown for the purpose of allowing you to embody and empower yourself uniquely as you are and to intentionally create and live a life of freedom and fulfillment. Each week, I'm going to discuss topics such as energetics, reality creation, manifestation, astrology, tarot, and more to help empower you to live beyond perceived limitations and to practically design your life so it feels like absolute magic every step of the way. Let's dive in. Well, hello, brilliant soul. Have you ever noticed how two people can experience the same event, but they have completely different reactions to it? Where one person might see a job loss as an invitation for growth and evolution, another person might see it as a slight against their character and an affirmation that they are somehow failing at life. Where one person might see the magic of Disney World as a testament to what is possible, another person might see it as nonsensical or childish. It all comes down to their perspective. The way we view ourselves and the world around us shapes the outcomes we experience, and thus it is a profound truth that your mindset is a key architect of your reality. In other words, how you experience your life is a direct result of how you allow yourself to perceive your life. You have the choice to decide whether everything is against you or whether everything is for you. You get to choose whether you see washing the dishes as a laborious chore or as a sacred ritual, equipped with the multicolored magic of sudsy bubbles that fill your experience for a moment. Your perspective defines your narrative of life, and your narrative defines the kind of life you allow yourself to lead and therefore enjoy. In this physical life, you are somewhat of an avatar or a character of your lived experience. You have a name, a role, more accurately, many roles, character traits, a setting or environment in which you live, work, and visit. You have dialogue with other characters with whom you interact with. And yet, you are more powerful than just a simple character in a movie, TV show, or video game, because you get to actually write, or in some cases, rewrite the script of your experience. And you get to do this primarily by choosing how you perceive your world. As you may already know, I sometimes refer to myself as a reformed pessimist, meaning that while I now enjoy a rosy and joyful view of my life, my past was filled with a bout of pessimism that made me want to crawl out of my skin. I couldn't figure out why everything felt so heavy, so serious, and so depressing. I couldn't shake the nagging thoughts that I was disliked and unlovable. I was having trouble with myself, and this self-belief, this perception of myself, leaked into the way that I saw the world around me. Gray, inky, and unkind. It was a matter of time before I recognized that I was operating this lens of misery in my life, which led to a multi-layered and multifaceted journey of self-discovery that, in many cases, I'm still exploring. And yet, I am now on the other side of the pessimism-optimism spectrum, predominantly seeing my reality as a delightful place of joy, pleasure, and fulfillment. Something really magical happens when you start to see that everything happens for you, when you start to believe this at the core of your being. You begin to develop a resilience, a capacity, and an endurance for the circumstances of your current experience, while you are simultaneously taking back the reins of your life and intentionally directing it where you're wanting to go. To do this, it is imperative that you onboard your mind, your perspective, and your imagination as an ally instead of a foe. Your imagination is a powerful place, and if left to its own devices, it likely has a habituated tendency to see the worst in everything, particularly because our current society has a penchant for indulging in a doomsday focal point. And if this is the case, then chances are that you often feel confronted by your life. Chances are you are trained to doubt your majesty and your brilliance, and instead wonder if you're good enough and if you'll ever feel good enough. You are good enough. I know it at the core of my being. And yet, if your perspective is not attuned to this knowing in yourself, it may pass you by. I'm going to say it again. You are good enough. In fact, you're more than good enough. You're a brilliant soul made of the same fine materials as a shining star who is having a lived experience and who is experiencing remarkable things. Every moment, you have the power to choose your perspective. You have the power to choose your reality. You get to choose to see the silver lining, to find the lesson, to act in alignment with your inner wisdom. And so I want to invite you to think of a situation in your life that feels challenging to you right now. Take a moment to identify the thoughts and feelings that you have about it. Once you have this feedback from yourself, ask yourself, how can I reframe this situation? How can I see this situation as for me? What opportunities for growth or learning does it present? How can I choose to respond in a way that aligns with my highest, most authentic self? From there, allow yourself to feel into the thoughts and emotions that arise in response to you pivoting towards your new perspective. And bask in the knowing that you are a brilliant soul capable of so much magic. If you have found this episode meaningful or insightful, please share it with someone who might be in need of a perspective shift of their own. It is with so much gratitude and love that I meet you here in this moment across space and time. Until next time.